This is the day we have been given. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning and welcome to church. We are not in the sanctuary, but this is still church. For church is not the building, it is the people, and wherever we are is sanctuary. I welcome those of you who would normally be in our pews and those who have joined us since our services went online. Beth and I, like you, are connecting from our homes for these services with the help of Michael Feeney in his home, offering technical support and guidance. And today we're joined by Mark McGuinness and Lauri Klein from their homes, Mark reading and Lauri leading us in a guided meditation at the end of the service. If you're interested in participating in a service or helping to plan them, please let me know. We're thinking about how worship on Zoom is different from worshiping together in the church building, and we'd love your thoughts. Also, we're looking for one more person to serve as one of our delegates to the UU Urban Ministries virtual annual meeting. It's Thursday, May 21st at 6 p.m. And please let me know if you'd like to participate. It would be a great way to learn more about the work of the urban ministry and to bring back to the rest of us how we can be more involved. This week, we'll be gathering on Wednesday evening for story time at 7 and Thursday afternoon at 4 for tea. We share the Zoom links over email. So if you're not on our email list, there Michael has it up. If you're not on the email list, please send us an email through the church's website or our Facebook page, and we'll add you. And though we haven't been taking a formal offering for these services, if you'd like to support First Parish, you'll find a donation button on our website. I think the slide's coming up. There it is. We're going to try doing our joys and sorrows in person. I'm not quite sure what word to use. We're going to zoom in on whoever has a joy and sorrow to share, though we'll also be giving you the opportunity during joys and sorrows to write your joy and sorrow in the chat and have Michael read it. But the way to get noticed for joy and sorrow is to raise your hand on Zoom. And last week, I think I wasn't clear about how to do that. And I think people thought I meant put up your hand, which can work, but it's easier to be seen if you can put up your Zoom hand. So I'm going to invite you all to practice now putting up your Zoom hand. If you look down to probably the bottom of your screen where it says participants and click on participant, you'll see a little box in the bottom right, that's how it is on mine, with 3 dots. And if you click on those 3 dots, you should see a place where it says wave your hand. Everybody see that? So I invite you now, wave your hands. Is it working? Wave your Zoom hands. I can't see. Michael, can you see if it's working?
Absolutely. It's working great. We've got a number of people waving those hands in the air like they just don't care.
Okay, terrific. So when it comes time for joys and sorrows, we'll invite you to do that. If it's not working for you, you can go into the chat and type, I have a sorrow to share, I have a joy to share, and Michael will call on you for that to speak it on Zoom. And if you don't want to speak and be seen, then you could just type your joy or sorrow in the chat and Michael will read it. So just to explain now how that's going to work. We are in the season of resurrection, of life rising from seeming death, as Kay Shaw's beautiful butterfly painting reminds us. And this year especially, we feel the power of that metaphor as we look for points of light and flashes of joy in the fear and suffering of our world. Today, we look at the ways we can open ourselves to be able to receive joy and peace when they come. As I light our chalice now, I invite you to light your own candles if you have one nearby. Buddhist teacher Jack Kornfield wrote recently, if you want to live a life of balance, try this. Turn off the news for a while, meditate, turn on Mozart, walk through the forest or the mountains, and begin to make yourself a zone of peace. Let go of the latest story. Listen more deeply. When we react to insecurity with fear, we worsen the problem. We create a frightened society. Instead, we can use courage and compassion to respond calmly with a fearless heart. May the light of our candles remind us of the courage and compassion which burns within each one of us. Courage and compassion which we may draw upon from one another when our own lights are low. Michael is now going to unmute us so that we can hear one another as we say the covenant. And don't let it bother you that our voices aren't in unison. Let it remind you of our presence and our connection. Let us say together the covenant of our church. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to cherish the living earth, to seek in love,
to help
one another. It's lovely to hear you all. Beth will now lead us in singing our hymn, and the words will be on the screen so you can sing along. The tune is the familiar one of Amazing Grace. Thank you, Beth. So this is the time in the service where if we were all together, I would invite the children and anybody else who wants to come down front for some conversation. And I still don't really know how to get us talking together over Zoom easily. So I'm still gonna have to sort of talk to you, and I will look forward to the days where we can have a conversation again. One of the things I have been thinking about is how do we have a sense of peace and calm during this time? And I think for all of us, however old we are, it can be hard. Like thoughts go through our heads. When do I get to see my friends again? Are we going to be able to go on vacation? What's going to happen? And we can be worried and frightened and anxious. Our parents might spend a lot of time on Zoom right now, and we can feel like they're not paying attention to us, or our partners if we're adults, or we can be missing the sense of being with people. So this service is all about how we breathe and find peace. And I was looking at some of the ways that we can combat what Buddhist teachers call a monkey mind, all those thoughts that go through our heads. And I came up with 2 ways that are suggested for children, but they might help for all of us, whatever our age. So one is, if you've got like a small stuffed animal, like a Beanie Baby, to lie down on your back and put it on your stomach. And I'm not going to demonstrate because if I get down on the floor, you won't see me, but you could try this at home. So if you lie down and you put the Beanie Baby on your stomach and then breathe in so deeply that you can feel it rise up, and then breathe out so completely that you feel it go down. And if you do that over and over, maybe 10 or 12 times, it'll start to calm your mind and calm your body and maybe help you refocus on what can make you happy right now than all the things that you're missing. And the other method to calm yourself is to imagine that you have a lit candle in this hand and a flower in this hand. And you could spend a little time imagining, like, is the flower a forsythia or a rose? Probably a rose would be better, or maybe some lilies of the valley or lilac, something that smells really good. And is your candle a white candle? Is it purple? Is it a colored candle? So that you can picture them. And then you bring the handle with the hand with the flower to your face and breathe deeply like you're really smelling that lilac. And then you bring the candle to your face and blow out the candle. And do that. Smell the flower really deeply and blow out the candle really fully. And again, you'll get a cycle of breathing in deeply and breathing out going, and you'll help to calm your body and calm your mind. Another way that I find helps calm me is to sing. And Beth's now going to teach us a song that could be a really good one to have singing in your head or singing it out loud when you need to feel a little peace.
This is peace, Salaam, Shalom. Those 3 words, and they all mean peace. And it goes like this. Peace, Salaam, Shalom. Peace, Salaam, Shalom. Peace, Salaam, Shalom. Peace, Salaam, Shalom. Try it. Peace, Salaam, Shalom. 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 One more time. Peace, Salaam, Shalom. Peace, Salaam, Shalom. Peace, Salaam, Shalom. Peace, Salaam, Shalom.
Thank you, Beth. So I hope you guys can hold on to that song and the breathing exercises and use them. And now another way we can find peace is to remember that we're still connected in all that's going on. So this is the time where we share our joys and our sorrows with one another. And again, if you have a joy or sorrow you'd like to share, you can raise your Zoom hand, not your real hand, and Michael will focus on you. Or you can type in the chat that you have a joy or sorrow to share. Or if you don't want to be on camera doing it, you can type it fully in the chat and Michael will read it. And for each of them, however they're offered, I will place a stone in the bowl of water, and then I'll invite you at home to join me in saying our response, may love abound. So who has a joy or sorrow to share this morning?
Starting with Frank.
Oh, my joy, I guess, is having had my son Matthew come and visit me for a couple of weeks from San Diego, and that was really nice.
Thank you. So I'm going to place a stone in the bowl of water for Frank's joy, and let's say our response, may love abound.
Mark Matthews would like me to share a sorrow for him. His sister-in-law Jane passed from cancer this past Friday.
Remembering Mark's sorrow and the loss of his sister-in-law, I place this stone. Let's say our response, may love abound.
Abound. I have a sorrow from Amelia McGonigal. The sorrow is that I cannot see my friends or extended family right now.
I place this stone for Amelia's sorrow, which I think we all share. Let's say our response, may love and
Love
abound. Are there more, Michael?
I believe not.
Okay, then let's say our unison prayer. We give thanks for being. We give thanks for being here. We give thanks for being here together. And now Mark McGuinness is going to read our poem for today, First Lesson by Philip Booth.
First Lesson by Philip Booth. Lie back, daughter. Let your head be tipped back in the cup of my hand. Gently, and I will hold you. Spread your arms wide, lie out on the stream, and look high at the gulls. A dead man's float is face down. You will dive and swim soon enough where this tide water ebbs to the sea. Daughter, believe me, when you tire on the long thrash to your island, lie up and survive. As you float now, where I held you and let go, remember when fear cramps your heart what I told you. Lie gently and wide to the light year stars. Lie back, and the sea will hold you.
This poem has been going through my mind a lot these days. Last week at a Zoom clergy gathering, the leader invited us to bring a poem to read to the group, and I shared Philip Booth's words. After I finished, there was a ah and a silence. Did the poem speak to you too? Sometimes it's one phrase, then another that comes to me. When fear cramps your heart, lie back and the sea will hold you. Right now, it's the long thrash to your island. We're all on a long thrash to our island right now. Thrash has several meanings, but one of them is a nautical term to make way against the wind, waves, and tide. We are thrashing against the coronavirus, against the strictures and expectations for how we will live and work during this time, against our own hopes and fears and dreams, and it's exhausting. We are home with small children who need to be monitored and engaged while we try to carry on our normal workloads over Zoom meetings with colleagues who may not be wearing pants. We are alone and separated from the family, friends, and activities which give our lives shape and meaning. We've given up sports and spending time with our friends at school. We are relearning algebra to teach it to our youth. We are missing out on family reunions, band trips to Disney, weddings, and graduations. We miss our friends. We miss heedlessly going to the supermarket. We miss getting out of the house. We are mourning what was and uncertain about what will come and when. No wonder we can't sleep, can't concentrate to read, snap easily, cry, feel like we are lost and are exhausted. It's all too much. We're at about day 50 of living between spaces, and I think it's time to acknowledge that we're not just passing through. We are here to stay for a while, and perhaps it's time to take a break, or lots of little breaks, from our thrashing so that we may lie back and survive. We didn't wade into the water, choosing this journey for ourselves. We were dumped in without any preparation or plan for how we were going to swim the course. And so many of us went into high gear, trying to make everything continue as it had. In Brene Brown's terms, we were over-functioning, juggling work, school, family, and home, and saying we were fine. But how can we be fine? I hear from so many of you that you feel you hardly have time even to take a breath. So it's time to breathe. It's time to open ourselves to the Spirit. It's time to float. When we breathe deeply, we calm that flight or fight response. Anxiety drops, shoulders drop. Breath is spirit. When we breathe, we open ourselves to the Spirit. We root ourselves again in that peace which the world can neither give to us nor take away from us. And as Brian reminded us at Monday night meditation, this doesn't have to be a huge commitment. You don't have to meditate for an hour a day to receive that peace. 10 minutes of meditation, of contemplating a tree, of focusing on your breathing can give us the respite and perspective we need. Taking time to make art, go for a walk by yourself, listen to birdsong, putter in a garden, do yoga or Tai Chi can all be spiritual practice. Anything that removes us from the pressures to accomplish, to be humans doing, and returns us simply to being, not only calms us, but gives us new perspective. In many ways, our lives are difficult now because we are trying to put what was into what is. We are thrashing against the old expectations of what can be accomplished in a day. And as Buddhist teachings remind us, suffering comes from struggling against what is. Unfortunately, we can't control the expectations of our workplaces or of our schools. And I know how hard trying to meet all those expectations is for so many of you. Some have been able to take a leave of absence from work or just to let schoolwork go. But for many of us, that isn't possible. As you are able, you might name the difficulty of these expectations to those who set them. But whatever our power to change them, we can take moments to breathe, to step back and to acknowledge that this is too much. We can take breaks to play, to find joy, whether it's in baking bread, chalking hearts and flowers in the driveway, exploring Situate's conservation trails, playing guitar, restoring a chair, or gazing at the stars. Yes, we wake in the middle of the night and feel we can't go on. Yes, we are lonely, fearful, overwhelmed. But we are going on because we are breathing, we are singing, running, walking, dancing, praying, laughing, and loving. In order for us to arrive at our island, whatever and wherever it may be, we need to stop swimming sometimes and open our arms wide to the sky. The eternal stars still shine, and always there to hold us is the sea. Lauri Klein is now going to help us breathe by leading us in a guided meditation.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Pam. So I'm going to invite you all to take a few minutes to go inside yourself and pause. And you'll notice that we're riding along the theme that Pam has so beautifully expressed. So wherever you're sitting right now, make yourself comfortable. If you're in a chair, you can kind of lean back. If you want to lie down and put your feet up, you can, or you can just stay sitting, whatever is the most comfortable. Take a moment to settle into your seat, however that's going to be, or like I said, if you want to lie down, if you're on a sofa or something, someplace. And remember that there's absolutely nothing that you have to do in this moment. Nothing to do but rest quietly and listen. There are no expectations. There's no special state of mind to reach. There's nothing special you have to do. So if it feels comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And if not, you can just sort of soften your gaze and look down, leaving the eyes slightly open. And now take a moment to feel your body. Feel your body in the space it's in. The connection with the surface you're sitting on. Notice any points of contact, including the clothing against your skin, or the air against your face and your hands. Just resting in this body, in this place, in this moment. Letting go of anything that you've brought to this moment, just for now. Letting yourself soften into this moment. Allowing this moment to be just as it is. Getting a sense of your place, the place you're in your body, in your heart, and in your mind. This is the only moment there is. So now bring your attention to the sensations of the breath. Feel the breath as it comes in through the nostrils, fills the lungs expand. And then the breath turns around and comes back out. Not trying to make anything special happen with the breath either. Just naturally following the breath, whatever its rhythm is. You may notice the breath more easily at the tip of the nose, or it may be the expansion of the lungs, or it might be even the rising of the belly. So just as best you can, resting awareness on these sensations of breathing. Take another moment or two to allow the breath to breathe with you. The breath brings us into the present moment, into this body, heart, and mind. And now, imagine, if you can, a beautiful body of water. It may be a lake or a pond, maybe the ocean. It may be someplace that you know, or it might be a body of water in your imagination. Whatever it is, allow yourself to picture it fully. Picture the color, the size, the texture, and what's all around this water, sky, or trees, or waves. Notice the smell, if there's a smell, and the sounds, rippling or roaring. This body of water is a completely safe place for you to be. So imagine that you're able to actually walk into this water and lay down on your back and float. Maybe there's a raft or a small boat for you to sit in. No matter what, trust that this water will hold you. It will buoy you up. So when you found your way into the water or onto a vessel of some kind, allow yourself to lie down. Allow yourself to imagine looking up at a bright blue sky with fair weather clouds. Take a few moments to rest here. And as you're resting here, your body may be gently swayed by the water. It's not a problem. The water will hold you. The longer you rest here, the more your body will relax into floating. It will be effortless. Let yourself feel the relief of not having to hold yourself up and of not needing to do anything for a few minutes. Let the water do the work of holding you afloat. And once you've been resting for a moment or two, once you've let yourself relax into this floating state, ask yourself this: what do I need right now in my life? What do I need in order to feel at ease and peaceful? Open your heart and mind to whatever arises as an answer. Deep down inside, you know the answer. It may come as an image. It may come as a voice or a sound, your own voice or a benefactor or a friend. Allow yourself to receive whatever message comes, even if it doesn't seem to make sense. Trust that your own inner wisdom will lead you to what you need to know. Take a few more moments to rest here and see what arises. And once you have whatever came up for you, hold it in your heart, mind, and body. Maybe find a word that will remind you of what you learned today. I'm going to ring a bell in a moment and listen to the sound. And when you're ready, if your eyes were closed, open them. If your eyes are open, just coming back to a sitting position and bring your attention from inner to outer awareness. So I'd like to invite you now to, if you would like, to type into the chat what your experience was. But I'm having a problem, Michael. I don't see the screen. I just see the people's faces. I've lost my speaker view completely.
That's all right. I'm happy to read out anything in the chat.
Okay, great. So if you would like to share what arose for you in that little meditation, you can type it into the chat. If not, you can hold it in your own heart and mind and use it as a touchstone for the rest of the day or even the rest of the week or year.
Brian Sutton has shared, "Thank you, Lauri. What arose was an image of shared food with friends and family." From Jennifer McGonigal and family, "Gratitude for the invitation to pause and breathe."
So if there are no more, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
And from Mary
Right.
Bellio, "The waves, just the waves."
Well, maybe we'll give another moment, see if anybody else has anything. So we're going to return to Beth and we're going to reprise the lovely chant of peace.
Yes, we're going to sing Peace, Salaam, Shalom, but more quietly and slowly. And if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes while we sing it. Peace, Salaam, Shalom. Peace, Salaam, Shalom.
Peace, Salaam, Shalom. May you rest in that peace the which the world can neither give to us nor take away from us. And may that peace shine forth from you, offering peace to our world. Go in peace.